winning streak. Lost since November. They're playing a team at the very opposite in the SSC. And Scott, what looks like it could be a mismatch, a lot of people say these are trap games.
Well, they could be, but the one thing Palm Beach Atlantic has struggled with all season is scoring. They average only 54 points a game. They've been outscored on average by almost 20 points per contest this season. They've only beat the one SSC opponent. They beat Lynn 68-65 back in January. It's been tough. I mean, they're 3-17 overall. Even sometimes you can get some non-conference opponents that you can build your resume up with some wins. It has not happened for Palm Beach Atlantic. So it could be a trap game, sure. You got to go out and play, but I certainly think that the Tampa Spartans should extend their already school record 15-game win streak to a 16-game win streak. But we'll see. You got to play it on the floor, as you said.
The good news is Dory Nudge, who's missed. Technically, she hasn't missed 2 games. She missed 1 game totally, had 7 minutes in the last game, and still seemed a little bit bothered by a knee injury. She's not wearing a brace today, is in the starting lineup for the first time in the last 3 games.
And that is good news because she facilitates things. She's the ball, where the ball goes, and it goes through her a lot of times.
She's like a point center out there.
She absolutely is. She even helps bring the ball up on the full court press. So to have her back and healthy is a big plus for the Spartans.
So the Spartans will get ready. We are going to get ready. We're going to have the national anthem coming up, and then we will have the start of this basketball game. So national anthem and then tip-off. We'll get the starting lineups for you. Scott, you got to broadcast Tampa Spartans women's basketball history on Wednesday night as the Spartans beat St. Leo to come up with the 15-game winning streak, all-time school record.
Yeah, and they're playing at a very high level. As you can see, they've fought off every challenge. There's been some close games along the way, but in the SSC, they've managed to win them all.
They were down, I guess you could call it a comeback victory against St. Leo because Spartans led for most of the game, then went down 50-46 with about 8.5 minutes to go, and then they just said enough's enough and ended up winning by 15.
Yeah, it was a pretty good performance. And again, you had Aaliyah Abney and Meliha Sullivan rise up. They had career games, and whether it be rebounds or points scored, they lifted their game. And Coach Jessie told me that's what you have to have when you've got your number one player, maybe the conference player of the year, out with an injury. And Dory was out most of the game.
Starting lineups for Palm Beach Atlantic. They will start 0. That is Ciara Cumby, a 5'11 senior from Orlando, Florida. Number 1 is Anaya Ross, a 6-foot forward from Orlando, Florida. Number 2 is Sia Williams, a 5'7 guard from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Number 3, they're making it easy, 0, 1, 2, 3.
I love it.
Is Claire Batty, a senior from Strasbourg, France. And, they screwed me up here. Avery Carpenter is number 11, so I'm going to have to do a little bit more work there.
They skipped a few digits there. All right.
A 5'8 guard from Lakeland, Florida. They are coached by Manisha Reedus and the assistant coach, LaShawn Jones. The lineups for the Tampa Spartans. A familiar lineup. They will start number 3, Julia Ingram, a junior from Clearwater, Florida, Palm Harbor University High School. Number 12, Chris Nelson, a 5'4 senior from Augusta, Georgia. Number 13, back in the starting lineup, Dory Nudge, a 6'2 junior from Hungary, a transfer from University of South Florida. Number 23 has had a great first year with the Spartans, was Shayla Wright Ponder, a junior from Bloomington, Minnesota, transferring from South Dakota. And number 24, the aforementioned Meliha Sullivan, 5'11" sophomore from Bartow, Florida, went to Winter Haven High School. 29 and 30 points in her last 2 games for the Spartans, really rising to the occasion.
Yeah, she's really been terrific, and she is able to create off the dribble and get her shots or to dish to teammates. It's a well-rounded Tampa team, and they'll have the first chance here in this game.
And Aaliyah Abney will come off the bench, and she has been a spark in the 20-point range as well. Spartans in the red get the tip. Sailfish in the dark blue. Sullivan kicks it out to Nelson. 3 on the way. Spartans on the board. 3-0.
Well, Chris Nelson started hitting the 3, taking and hitting the 3 late last season, and she really worked on it in the offseason, and she is a good 3-point shooter, the Spartans' best.
It's a good-looking shot, about 3 feet behind the line, but not afraid to shoot. Wright Ponder with a steal.
Yeah, Nelson shooting 42% from beyond the arc is just, that's all you can ask for from your point guard.
Yeah, she picks her spots. She's not going to take a bad 3. Nudge inside the arc. Falls down. Gets up. You watch to make sure she's running okay. She is. Cumby has it go off her hands to Nelson. Nelson across half court. Spartans off 3-0. Riding a 15-game all-time winning streak for Tampa. Wright Ponder kicks it out. Finds Sullivan off the front of the rim. Rebound to Ross. Gives it to Williams across the timeline.
Well, Jack, the player to watch here for Palm Beach Atlantic is number 11, Carpenter. Leads him in points, assists, and steals. She's an all-around good player.
And off the cue, well, she didn't shoot. Normally they do.
I thought she was going to drive to the rack.
Yep, that's her with the ball. 10 on the shot clock. She backs it out. Guarded by Ingram. 5 on the shot clock. They go inside. Jumper by Ross. Good, and it's 3-2.
Got it with about 2 seconds, or maybe a little less. Still managed to work her way to the hoop and bank it off the glass.
Nelson calls the play. Back to Nudge. Nudge, free throw line jumper, bounces, and in. The one thing that the Spartans did not have the last two games is that nice inside-outside game with Wright Ponder and Nudge. Now they've run it twice.
You can see Nudge or Wright Ponder coming up, flashing up to the top and getting the ball from the outside the perimeter.
There's Carpenter, rolls it around, no good. And a foul called, possibly on Ross. Yes, it was. Did a little pushing to get the rebound.
Ross and Wright Ponder, that's a real physical matchup waiting to happen here. And you saw indications of that just there. Both 6-footers, both with some size, bulk. They can muscle their way around.
Ingram recovers the ball. Skip pass to Nelson, looks at a three, on the way, front of the rim. Quickly up court to Williams. That's Carpenter. Tell you what, Ingram will make it tough on Carpenter if anybody will. She is a good defender for the Spartans. And that's her assignment. Inside to Cumby. Front of the rim. Taken away, though, by Ross. Jump shot. Missed. And foul going to be on Cumby. Wright Ponder doing a nice job blocking out there.
Both Ross and Cumby get to the offensive glass quite a bit. Cumby has 48 offensive rebounds this year, and Ross has 31. So if a shot's taken, they're going hard to the glass.
Ingram looks. Now we go Wright Ponder inside to Nudge. She's fouled. So they'll go whoever is who's got the position. Normally you'll see Nudge at the high on the high-low post. That time it was Wright Ponder. But either time, and no matter who it is, they know they've got a big presence inside waiting for that pass. Nudge to the line. First free throw rattles home. 75% free throw shooter on the year. Second in the conference at 15.9 a game. Jordan Tully at Nova Southeastern, 19 a game leading. She hit them both, 7-2 Tampa. Williams handling on the perimeter. To Carpenter. Williams again. Stolen by Nelson, recovered though. Shot clock does not change, it's down to 4. Williams on the drive, off the glass and in. Falls to the ground, but spun it up there and got it to go down.
That was a really nice play for the 5'7" guard. She played at Colby Community College and is now trying to get things done with Palm Beach Atlantic.
Zone defense. See if the Spartans zone breakers take over. That may indicate Julia Ingram time.
Great three-point shooter. You could be right.
Travel by Sullivan. Little hop, skip, and jump there. That is an Olympic sport, but not good in basketball.
Not good in hoops, no.
I guess in the Olympics they actually call it the triple jump. Big drive by Batty, no good. Tapped around into the hands of Nelson. Leading a break. Do the Spartans have numbers? She's going to try it no matter what. Overshoots it.
Give Carpenter credit. She got back there, maybe even got a hand on the ball as Nelson was trying to force it up into the basket.
Williams back out. Carpenter launching a 3. Front of the rim, no good. Into the hands of Sullivan. Sullivan, fadeaway free throw, rattles home.
Her game has really been elevated here, especially after Christmas. She's coming on really strong. Doing a lot of things at both ends of the floor.
You're correct. I remember Caitlin Mittrick last year before the season started. I talked to her and said, give me a little info on each player. Turn around in the lane, bounces around. And this was before anybody had started a game last year and before Sullivan had ever played a game. She said when she's done, she's going to be one of the best in Tampa history.
Wow.
Right ponder, not strong enough. Wanted a foul, didn't get it.
Well, I know we were really impressed. She scored 25 at Rollins last season back in February the 13th, almost a year to the day. But she's with that 30-point effort in her last game, she really showed what she can do.
Boy, Cumbie just put her head down and said, I'm going to take a layup, and plowed into Nudge. Charge was called with 3:59 to go in the quarter. That is a timeout. There's always a timeout under 5 minutes in the women's game at each quarter. 9-4, Tampa leading the Palm Beach Sailfish.
I saw coming into the game a couple of substitutions for Coach Tom Jessie. Terry Battle, number 25, along with Aaliyah Abney, number 2, coming into the game here after this timeout. Battle has really started to get more playing time. She's playing well, and Coach Jessie said he really thinks that she is starting to become a real factor. He wants a deeper bench. He really has not had the opportunity to play more than 5 or 6 players regular minutes, and so with Battle stepping up and looking pretty good lately in practice and in the limited minutes she's had in games, I think we can expect to see more of Terry Battle, who happens to be a 6'1" center. Just you got Wright Ponder, you got Dory Nudge, you got Terry Battle, all over 6 feet. That's a pretty tall task for any team to defend, especially the Sailfish, who have really just the one pure post in Anea Ross.
Not only that, everyone you mentioned there on the front line, athletic players too.
Yeah.
They're not just tall, they've got some skills. Battle from Chicago, went to Bowling Green State before transferring to Tampa.
And it's the other 2 bigs that go out right now. We're talking Nudge and Wright Ponder. Both sit down.
So Nelson trots it across the timeline. Zone defense again. Sullivan outside to Abney. Back out to Battle. Ingram off the glass, fouled on the way in.
Battle did a nice job right there coming to get that pass from Nelson. It looked like it might be, she might have been in no man's land, and Battle came to meet the ball and keep the possession for Tampa.
Into the PBA lineup is number 21, England Bennett, 5'9" sophomore from Battle Creek, Michigan. Julia Ingram, that one rolls out.
That's her first miss in conference play, Jack. First one all season. She had made all 12 of her previous attempts in the conference, and for the season, she's now only missed 2. She's 14 of 16 overall, about 92%.
Well, she just started a new streak. I was corrected one time that a streak doesn't happen till 2, but you got to make the first one to start it. Had a guy who was just way too much into analytics. Ingram inside the arc, won't fall. Sullivan over the back, though. That one just looked bad. I don't know if she really went over the back, but she was on the side and had her hand up. And from the vantage point of the referee, it would look like it. 10-4, Spartans up. Jumper from the side, no good. That was Rogers taking that shot. Rogers just into the lineup. That's Kennedy Rogers, a 5'11" freshman from Winter Garden, Florida. Pass inside to Williams. Kicked back out. Long ball, banking a 3 is number 15, Claudia Charles, also recently in the lineup. I think, now that I look, they subbed 4 different players.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I don't know where you're going to get the scoring from.
3 different players.
Even Carpenter's not in there right now, but that was pretty cool in that Claudia Charles, the 6-footer from Sweden, as a matter of fact, just turned and ran the other way like she totally intended to bank that thing.
Yeah.
Totally intended to.
Terry Battle over the back there. So Spartans with 2 fouls. PBA already up to 5. About 2.5 minutes to go, first quarter. A 10-7 game. Tampa leading over the Sailfish. Bennett back out. 7 on the shot clock. Drive coming up from Batty. She spins and did a little push to create some space on Chris Nelson. She gets the foul and immediately comes out. And coming back in is Carpenter. Jack Ike, Scott Lynn with the broadcast today. Men's game coming up at about 4 o'clock. Scott will have the play-by-play. I will sit alongside him and make intelligent observations.
Oh, good. I'm looking forward to that. About time you start.
It's late in the season. I've learned some things.
Okay. All right.
I know you've carried me all year.
Oh, stop. Just having fun here. By the way,
we're trying to get recognized as one of the better play-by-play duos in the conference.
Yeah, we got left out on that Twitter note there. That's all right. Maybe there's a reason for that. By the way, Claudia Charles, I mentioned, I gave her kind of a hard time banking that in from straight away. But she's not a bad three-point shooter. I mean, that's her 11th make of the season from beyond the arc. About 25%, a little under what you'd like to see, but still, she shot that with great confidence.
Yeah, might be in the repertoire because Bennett just banked a 3 from the side. It didn't fall, though. Not many coaches teach the banked 3.
Not from the perimeter.
No. Inside to Nudge, lays it up and in. Nice assist from Battle. You like to see Battle got in a tough situation, was double teamed, found a teammate. Top of the key on the way from Rogers. Rattles around, no good. Abney on the way to the other end. Bounces it into Nudge. They look to double teamer. Out to Ingram. 3 on the way. No, won't fall, but Battle almost had it. And they get a foul on her. That might be a play on, but...
Well, I think we had that at the other end of the court, though, as well, where there was a play like that, and they did call the foul for the person who got there a split second late. So I don't argue that call. You're right. Both of those, I think, could have been a play on. But in any case, it was the same verse at both ends of the court.
So they're calling it Evenly.
Ray Lewis, Heather Marshall, and Vladimir Figueroa are the officials today.
Bounce pass inside is to Ross. She goes back out to Rogers. Skips around in the lane, loses the ball, and Abney to the other end. She's going to try to drive off the glass. Won't go. Battle fights, and I think Battle just picked up another one, her third. So she's going to have to come out.
Well,
she's just not quite been in the right place at the right time early.
Yeah, Wright Ponder, I think, might have been at the scores table anyway. But now she has 3 fouls, and so she will sit. But she looked pretty good out there, I thought, as far as running up and down the floor. 3 fouls in 3 minutes. 2 rebounds and an assist.
Active.
Yep, very active.
Ross tries to back Wright Ponder down, misses the shot, and it goes out of bounds. It will be Palm Beach Atlantic's ball with 30 seconds to go. First quarter.
You know, Ross backing down a defender, I can see how she can do that. She's very strong. And it took Wright Ponder with her size and strength to keep her from getting right to the basket. But similar type players.
Williams in the lane, comes back out. Finds Carpenter, 8 on the clock, and I think Nelson with the foul. So the fouls have evened up at 5 apiece with 16 seconds to go, and Maya Justo getting ready to come in for the Spartans. Just the first foul on Nelson, but...
Well, I think the thing was, he was very disappointed. I think he told the players, quit reaching, quit grabbing, just play position defense, and Nelson did reach in trying for a steal there. That's my interpretation of what I saw. Not absolutely sure, but it's been a little while since Justo has seen playing time.
Carpenter misses both. 75% free throw shooter, missed them both. Spartans will get a last chance. Justo slowly down to 10. Runs the offense. It's getting late, though. 5 seconds. Finds Abney. Glance at the clock. Near the free throw line. Jumper. In and out. End of 10. It is 12-7 Tampa on top of Palm Beach Atlantic. This is on the Sunshine State Digital Network and TampaSpartans.tv. Dory Nudge with 6 to lead the Spartans. At the other end, just got Ross and Williams.
Charles has 3 as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had my screen was just showing those in the game.
Oh, yeah.
And I had to expand it because I said somebody's got to have more than that.
Well, neither team shooting well, Jack.
Yeah.
That's one of the big things here in this first quarter. Kind of an ugly first quarter.
Spartans just 4 of 13. Palm Beach Atlantic 3 of 15. Rebounds 12 for Palm Beach Atlantic, 10 for the Spartans. Of the Spartans' 4 baskets, 3 of them have been assists. Palm Beach Atlantic equally is adept with the assists, 2 assists out of their 3 baskets.
The Spartans don't get out-rebounded very often, and in this first quarter, they did. I mentioned Maya Justo a little while ago, and that she had not played a lot of games recently. She did actually start 3 games when Chris Nelson was down with injury, and I'm going to double check and see when the last time she was in. As far as the home games are concerned, I know we haven't seen her for a while.
Second quarter underway. Spartans with Ingram, Nudge, Wright Ponder, Justo, and Abney in the lineup. Carpenter bounces it, no good. Rebound up, no good. That was Ross again, and Ross just battling hard that time. Puts it home. She's got 4, and it's a 12-9 game. In the lineup for Palm Beach Atlantic, Ross, Williams, Carpenter, Rogers, and Bennett. Justo running the point. She's more than likely, that's a steal. Nice job by Ross to deflect that pass on the entry. Out top, Bennett. In and out. Ross, though, corrals the rebound, back up and in. And it's 12-11 as Ross is just being a force inside right now.
Well, that rebounding, here it comes battle right back into the game.
Even with 3 fouls.
Yeah. And Justo, by the way, has not played since February, check that, since January 15th at Florida Tech. She played just 1 minute. She has not played more than 2 minutes since the January 2nd game at Palm Beach Atlantic. So we've seen very little of Maya Justo lately, but she's a talented young point guard. Has to learn to control the game a little bit.
Carpenter loses it out of bounds, but the Spartans knocked it out of her hands.
She's a great ball handler. Sometimes likes to show a little flashiness with her behind-the-back passes or behind-the-back dribble, between-the-legs dribbles all the time. She can do that, no question. But sometimes you don't have to do that, and I think she's trying to figure out the SSC game.
Ross just inside again on Battle. Battle had to back off because she has 3 fouls. And hard to believe that Ross averages 3.5 points a game. She has 8 and just looks so comfortable doing what she wants in the middle. Abney has a bounce off her foot, goes out of bounds, and PBA has a chance to take the lead. It's 14-13.
Well, you said it might be a little bit of a trap game. Well, through the first 12 minutes of this, you may be right.
Tampa was leading 10-4. Been outscored 9-4 since then. And Palm Beach Atlantic, a basket, they're on top.
Ross has already tied her season high. Well, and the thing is, the longer you let PBA hang around, the more confident they're going to be. And so the Spartans need to close out this first half, this last 6.5 minutes, with a little bit better performance in execution, taking care of the ball, and defending without fouling.
Yeah, you let a team feel like they belong, and they will assume they belong. Steal, though, by Abney. Tries to split the difference, finds Sullivan off a Palm Beach Atlantic player's hands. I believe that was off Rogers. Still 26 on the shot clock, plenty of time. Oh, Nelson threw an ankle pass to Dory Nudge.
Yeah, she was looking at a bounce pass. but threw it right where Dory intercepted the flight of the ball, and she kicked it into next year.
She was bouncing it where Dory was standing, but Dory moved up to get the ball, and they met.
Unforced turnovers are costly, too. That's 6 turnovers now in the game.
Uncharacteristic. Nudge with the rebound. Spartans started hot. Sullivan fouled on the drive. She'll go to the line again. Sullivan is a 71.5% free throw shooter, was 1 of 2 the last time.
Now, Sullivan also needs to be careful because that technical foul is counted as a personal foul. It's her second foul. Yeah. So she now has to play cautiously the last 6 minutes of this first half.
Hits the throw. Though I said it during the St. Leo game, different point in time, but when the Spartans went down 50-46, I said this team doesn't worry about that. They're just going to keep playing. They don't panic, and they just follow their game plan. So we'll see what happens for the final 26 minutes. Sullivan is out. Nelson back in. Wright Ponder back in. Rogers bounces it inside. That's Ross. Boy, she's just owning it inside. Double digits in points.
Yep. As I mentioned, 8 was her season high, so she's got a new season high, and she's closing in. Just 2 more baskets, she'll be tied with her all-time best.
And I tell you what, it looks like such an integral part of the offense. Abney, no good. Spartans are cold from the outside. You know, it just looks like that's the normal flow of the offense, Ross, and see what she can do. So it's hard to believe just 3.5 points.
And the limited minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe she was injured along the way, too.
True. Wright Ponder with the rebound and a foul called on the board.
On Ross, coming over the top, and that's her second, and maybe that's part of the potential foul trouble.
Yeah, as I said, 44 fouls, but you don't know how often she gets them. She gets 2 or 3 in the first half. She's sitting.
And there is a substitution. I think Claudia Charles is going to come in for her momentarily.
22-17, Nudge in the lane. Nice shot and nice hit. That's 8 for Dory Nudge. 3 of 4 shooting at this point.
Well, Dory Nudge and Chris Nelson are the co-captains. They're both on the floor right now, and this is kind of an important part of the game just to try to maintain, maybe even come back and take the lead into the locker room at halftime.
On the drive, a kick out. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Williams needs to shoot. Oh, foul called with maybe a half second on the shot clock. That'll be on Abney.
Good, strong, aggressive move, and it is rewarded with a whistle there. Tom Jessie didn't really argue the point, but felt like it could have gone without a whistle.
Yeah.
But he didn't say too much to the officials that was standing right in front of him, by the way. So he had the same view that the official did, I think.
22-19. Spartans trailing PBA.
Pat Bacon, the star senior for the men's team, just walked behind us here.
Frustrating season for that men's team.
Oh, man, it's been hard. So many injuries, which we'll talk about, of course, as we go along.
2 players have played every game.
Yeah.
And one of those, Lakovic, has also been injured and played through it.
Yeah.
I believe Derek Felder not available today.
That's not good.
No, he's had turf toe, and we did see him get hobbled last game, and we don't know. He got hit he was holding his head. Remember, he went off?
I thought maybe it was even an eye or something.
Yeah, we're not sure if he was just holding his head because he was in pain from some other part of the body or if it was a head injury. But I understand he will not be available today. Justin Pekka will more than likely come over and talk to you in a couple minutes.
All right.
I see him poised and ready, studying his notes. He's the associate men's head coach. One of our close friends here. To the free throw line goes Williams. She has 6. 16 of the 22 belong to Ross and Williams. 17 of the 23 belong to Ross and Williams. Williams is with Carpenter. They're both at 11-2 a game. Doesn't get the second one, but tipped out. Nelson fights for it. Tipped away again. Abney fights for it. She gets it, calls timeout, and gets the timeout. Boy, that ball was just ping-ponging around, or pinballing around, I should say. And finally, Tom Jessie.
Yeah, I think he was looking to see where they're going to inbound. Wanted to make sure it was up here on the side before he went into the huddle again. You like to save your timeouts for late in the game, but again, with the under 5-minute break, you're going to get these timeouts enough that you shouldn't be tired, even if you're playing all the way through.
Tampa still with 4 timeouts left. Palm Beach Atlantic only 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Meliha Abney to inbound for Tampa. A little over 4 to go in the quarter. Spartans trail by 4. Ingram, top of the key to Abney. Abney for 3. Looks dead on, and it is. Sometimes we just get lined up for the right angle, and we can tell, and that's the first one that I've seen that looked like it was dead on.
Abney tied her career high with 23 points and had a career high 12 rebounds against St. Leo in her last game Wednesday night.
Her first basket cuts it to a 1-point game. Long shot on the way and knocked down by Patrick, who's just in the lineup. Cold-blooded off the bench is Caroline Patrick, a 5'11" senior from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Dory Nudge answers at the other end, and she vaults her way into double digits. 26-24. We're going back and forth right now. Top of the key, Williams. That's Patrick to Williams. Loses the ball. Abney, see if she can go coast to coast. Right Ponder setting a nice little escort for her down the court, and she lays it in.
Sort of a running screen all the way down the floor, but it obviously was just hustling back to try to get an offensive rebound.
I called it an escort.
Yep.
That ties it. There's nothing illegal about it, but she just was going stride for stride with a Palm Beach player. Off the glass, no good. Abney boards. Tied up now as the Spartans come down. Chance to regain the lead. Nudge, top of the key. Abney for another 3. This one, no. Spartans 2 of 8 from deep. Pass inside, missed. Fighting for the rebound, and they call a jump ball. It'll be Tampa's ball. That was Batty fighting for it. But I believe it's Tampa's ball. Yeah. Into the lineup comes number 12. That's Victoria Self, a 5'6" guard from Tampa. Went to Wellsboro Area High School. Tell you, Coach Reedus has played just about everybody on the... I think there's 3 right now on the bench who haven't gotten in, but he's gotten 10 or 11 players in the lineup already. Or I should say Coach Reedus, she has gotten just about everybody.
Yeah. She has almost everybody in.
Yes.
And again, they've tried desperately to score the basketball. It's been a real problem for them. And they're saying it was tipped out of bounds, so it'll stay Tampa ball. These two teams, when they played at Palm Beach, or West Palm Beach, 57-32 was the final. They have 26 here and not even at halftime yet. So they're getting more points this time than the last time these two teams played.
Nudge off the glass, couldn't get it to go. Got the rebound. And a jump ball is called. Nice job by Williams to tie up Nudge. Will go the other way. Coach Reedus with a few words for her point guard self. As we said, she's not afraid to get players in. Nice long jump shot for three by Self, and it's 29-26. Coach Reedus has 11 players already taking the floor. She's not afraid to get them in there. Pass inside to right Ponder, but as she got the pass, Charles fouled her. That's the second on Charles.
Well, the first half is pretty similar to the first half when they played at West Palm Beach. Tampa led 14-10 after one, and then outscored Palm Beach Atlantic 13-9 in the second quarter, so it was an 8-point lead at halftime.
Right Ponder couldn't get that one to fall. Little left-handed baby hook.
One other further point, a 17-4 third quarter. Obviously, Tom Jessie got his team's attention in the locker room. That may happen again here today.
Final minute, first half. Nice drive, foul on the drive. And I tell you what, Self has come in and trying to make a name for herself, getting out there, hit a nice three. Good drive there.
She started 5 games this year, played in all 19. Actually, 19 of the 20, I should say, that they have played thus far.
Has made her presence known.
Yeah, Self averaging under 4 points a game, 5 for 21 from beyond the arc. Before that one, a little while ago.
She hit her free throw, hit them both. And the Spartans had it tied at 26, but now trail by 5. Refs stopped play. The shot clock didn't start.
They're going to come back and check the time, make sure that the game clock didn't start and the shot clock did not.
Couldn't tell you if either one did, though.
I didn't
they're
either.
Pretty close. 53-8. They put a second and a half back on the clock. Nelson picks it up. Abney looking, finds Nelson. 3 on the way, off the rim. Nudge tried to get it, but that's been called a foul earlier in the game. Fortunately for Tampa, not this time.
Well, again, we've seen it on the men's side from Tampa when teams come in nationally ranked and you think, oh, there's no chance, when Tampa's men's team has come up strong, given a great effort. And that's what we're seeing here from the women's team from Palm Beach Atlantic.
7 on the shot clock, 14 game clock. 3 on the way, no good. Nudge rebounds, 10 seconds to go. Spartans will get a chance. 5 on the clock. Nudge, 3 on the way, good at the buzzer. Dory Nudge knocks down a 3 to make it 31-28. They called it 2. No, they actually are no, okay, they just added the point.
Yeah.
31-29 at halftime, so the Spartans do cut it down to just 2 points as Dory Nudge hits the 3, and she finishes the half with 13 points.
I don't believe we've seen, at least on this floor, the Spartans behind at halftime very often this season.
I do not recall ever seeing that.
I don't either. So give Palm Beach Atlantic a ton of credit. Those young women played very, very sound basketball in the first half. They rebounded hard. In fact, out-rebounded the Spartans 20-19. And again, they've neither team shooting the ball particularly well. 40% for Tampa and 33% for Palm Beach Atlantic. But the bottom line is they have played a smarter and more well-executed game than the Spartans did in the first half.
So I think we will step out.
Yeah, I know Justin Pekka was battling a cold Wednesday night, and I know Tom Jessie has picked up the bad cold. So if we don't see Justin here in just a moment, we'll take a quick break and then come back with all the scoring and whatnot. So I'll leave it up to you, my friend.
All right, we'll just give you a quick overview of what happened in the first half. Spartans are shooting 40%, Palm Beach Atlantic 33%, though they have the 2-point lead. Spartans are 10 of 25 from the field, 11 of 33 for PBA. If you look at some of the other numbers, the Spartans are 6 of 8 from the free throw line. Palm Beach Atlantic 5 of 7. 7 turnovers for Tampa. That's a little atypical. 6 for Palm Beach Atlantic. Rebounding is still PBA has the lead, 20-19 on boards. 6 offensive rebounds for Palm Beach Atlantic to 1 for Tampa. Second chance points, 7-0. Palm Beach Atlantic leading there. And bench points, 14-5. Points in the paint, 14-6. So in a lot of important statistical categories, PBA holding the edge at the half. Well, we'll step out, 31-29. We'll come back and get you all the scores just before the start of the second half. 31-29, Tampa trailing at half. Jack Ike, Scott Lynn on the Sunshine State Digital Network.
Welcome back courtside at the University of Tampa. Tampa Spartans taking on the Palm Beach Atlantic Sailfish. The Spartans are 14-0 in conference, riding a 15-game winning streak. Palm Beach Atlantic 1-12 in the conference. But who leads at halftime? Palm Beach Atlantic 31-29. Joining me, a special guest who's going to sit in the entire second half with me, legendary Tampa Spartans player Elena D'Alfredo. Thanks for joining us. I know you've done games before in Spanish. I told you cannot speak Spanish.
I know.
You have to speak English.
Thanks for inviting me. It's always good to be here, and especially talking about, the Tampa Spartans.
Yes.
So I have it on my blood, so, it's always good.
All right. Let's just recap the scoring real quickly, and then we'll get ready for the second half. Leading Tampa is Dory Nudge, who hit a big three just about at the buzzer, and she has 13 to lead Tampa. Chris Nelson with 3, Wright Ponder with 2, Meliha Sullivan with 5, Aaliyah Abney with 5, and Julia Ingram with a free throw. But the Spartans shooting 40% on the day, 10 of 25. On the other side of the ball with 31 points, Palm Beach Atlantic, they are led by Ross with 10, Williams with 7, Self with 5, Charles 3, Patrick with 3, and Rogers with 3. Spartans send out the not the original starters. It is Nelson, Sullivan, Ingram, Abney, and Dory Nudge. And Elena, 31-29. This is a team, Palm Beach Atlantic, that loses on average by 20 points a game. What are they doing right at this point?
Well, the thing is, you got to think about this first. Tampa has been playing great basketball right now, and now we always have the tag, and now it's even more, so everybody wants to beat Tampa. So that's also already something that we're going to have to fight against, But also, they are big. They're a big team. They have, Ross is a player that can put some, emphasis on guarding our Shea and our bigs, and that's huge. They're opening the floor. They're also attacking to get the ball on the floor and put some pressure on our bigs. And so that, I think that's been huge, But again, it comes down to always thinking that Tampa is, winning everything. So
yes.
Everybody wants to beat them, and then they're going to always race up to the occasion and play their best game. So regardless of what happens, we will always get the best game from everybody.
Elena, you said you have done broadcasting before, but it was in Spanish. What were the broadcasts in Spain? What league were you doing?
So I used to help a little bit with, when I played back in Spain, I played for the second division. So sometimes they would invite, some players and give some, comments and talk about basketball and kind of be the analyst of the game. So that's what I used to do, when I was back in Spain. Mm-hmm.
Okay. We are underway in the second half. Inside Nudge. Back out Abney. Abney bounce pass. Taken away. Nudge fights for it. Keeps it alive with Tampa. No new shot clock, but Tampa does retain possession.
Yeah, as you can see, Tampa is being guarded in a 2-3 zone right now, and that's just because, the presence that we have inside, they need to stop that, and the way that you stop that is having, a 2-3 offense, a 2-3 defense that can, dig for the shooters, and we always know that, Julia Ingram is our shooter, so that's what they're trying to do right now, trying to slow us down.
There's a offensive foul called on that play, and it is on Batty, picking up her third, so she is coming out. Ross is coming out. Big that Ross comes out just 37 seconds into the second half. She got the third foul. Nelson across the timeline. In to replace Ross is Charles. Has the height but not the bulk. Taken away though. Coming back the other way is Williams. Stops, dishes, driving in the lane, off the glass, no good. Rebound, Abney has it. Spartans trail by 2, early second half. We've mentioned numerous times that on paper this could be a mismatch, but on the court, that's why you play the games.
And now they've shifted back again to individual defense. I believe they did it because Ross is out of the game right now, so they are not able to keep up with our bigs. So now, as you can see, Coach Jessie just put Shea in for that purpose because we are now bigger than them, so we can, get some points in there in the paint and put some pressure on them.
Right, Ponder back in. Dory Nudge. Oh, in and out.
Still 31-29, minute 20 into the second half. Williams. Swing it to the side. There's a pass, goes out of bounds. Oh no, saved by Nelson. Tries to get it up quickly to Sullivan, see if they can get some numbers. Sullivan drives, lays it up and in.
That's what her game is. She is a beast. Her athleticism is incredible. And we've seen in the couple last games how she's been attacking to the rim and really putting pressure. So that's what her game is.
9 now for Sullivan. Actually 7 for Sullivan. Spinning in the lane, traveling on the spin. And so the turnover by Cumbie gives the ball to Tampa with a chance to take the lead. It was tied at 26, but Tampa was not able to take the lead back then. They actually went down 31-26, so they've scored 5 straight over the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half. Dory with the ball, goes behind the back, and a reaching foul. Looks like it will be on Batty. That'll be her third.
It's interesting because you can see now that PBA is having a hard time attacking because they don't have that inside presence that we were talking about before. So their outside game struggles a little bit with our game. So that's good for us in that sense right now.
Into the PBA lineup is Kennedy Rogers, offering a little more bulk inside. Nudge, top of the key. Out to Sullivan. Inside, right, Ponder fouled on the way up. She'll go to the line.
That's very interesting that Coach Jessie is able to read that. I mean, he's a great coach. He knows how to put pressure on other teams and read what the disadvantage is. And now the advantage for us is on the paint. So we're going to see a lot of, pounding the ball inside now, I believe.
So Elena played here a couple years ago, all conference,
I did.
all district, all American in our hearts. Assistant coach for 2 seasons.
Yes.
Got a lot of wisdom to impart on these players. You said you actually help recruit a lot of these players.
Yes, actually, pretty much all of those players, I was able to help, the coaches to recruit them and evaluate them to see, if they would fit into our game. And clearly they are, and they're thriving, and they're, grasping what Tampa Spartans is about, and clearly we're seeing it. We're 14-0, so that's great.
Shot clock running down. Nice little runner in the lane. Batty makes it 33 all.
And they're back into their 2-3 again. But
right, Ponder
again,
fouled and scored.
Yep, they're back in their 2-3 again, trying to stop our inside game, but we were able to push the ball in transition. That's what you want to do, push the ball. Chris did a great job, and then pounding the ball, triangulation that we call it all the time. So that's great.
And what Coach Reedus noticed is right, Ponder had a little bit too easy a time getting inside, so quickly Ross back in the lineup. Missed the free throw. Spartans by 2. Palm Beach Atlantic taking it up court. Williams looking around, kicks it over to Bennett. Rogers hands it to... Oh, nice spin in the lane. Oh, off the glass and in on a nice play.
And again, you can see that Chris has a disadvantage a little bit on defense on, their point guards. So they're trying to get that as well as they were trying to. You can see they were passing the ball one side to the other to try to get it to Ross as well. So
Nudge with the drive, laid it up a little too hard. We come back the other way. 6 minutes to go, third quarter, tied at 35.
And you can see that PBA is trying to make the game very slow. They don't want us to run. They don't want us to get, into our groove of the game. So they're trying to bring this shot clock up to the end on purpose to make it a close game and a very slow game.
Nelson the other way. Looking around. No one stops her, drives. Oh, won't fall. Nudge rebound. Up, no good. Foul called. Might be on Nelson. No, I think, it's on PBA on the rebound by Dory. Dory will go to the free throw line. Dory Nudge, a 75% free throw shooter, averaging 16 a game. Has 13 today. Make it 14. So when you were playing, your parents in Spain listen in to the eloquent voices of Jack and Scott?
They loved it, so that was great. It was actually great. They would say, even though like my mom doesn't really speak English, my dad can, and then my sister can also speak English. They were like, they speak very clear, so kudos to you guys.
Well, at least we had graphics so she could follow along with the time and the score.
You see, they're trying to move the ball around now again to pound the ball inside, and then if not, they're probably going to give it back to Batty.
Batty.
Yep. So she could take it for them.
Good board by Wright Ponder. Tampa 2 of 8 this quarter. Wright Ponder from deep. Won't fall. Batty drives on Nelson. And a foul on Nelson. Nelson just kind of exasperated there, like, wow. I'm just having a hard time when she comes down the lane and she's got the height.
Well, there's a big mismatch right there. So PBA, that's what they're trying to do. Chris needs to stay in the stands, don't foul, and live with the consequences. If you play good defense, that's what you have to do, and just be smart about it. We need her in the game, so she needs to be smart,
For Nelson, that was foul number 2. This is the under 5 timeout, the official timeout. Tampa 37-35. Tampa just 2 of 9 this quarter. Palm Beach Atlantic 2 of 5. Neither team has knocked down a 3. Tampa's missed 3. And Palm Beach Atlantic 0 for 2. So what are you up to these days other than hanging out with us?
Well, I have my job, and I'm also a basketball trainer for a company named Hoopworks. So I just actually come from there.
Okay.
Just trying to stay around the game because I love it.
Need to drum up business? Put in a plug for Hoopworks?
I mean, sure. Why not?
Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, we are here based in Tampa, and it's basically a membership company where you can go and get some shots up. We have, the gun machines. We have 6 of them. We have the laser dribbling machine as well. So, just go on our website and get a membership, and you can get to train with me.
What's the website?
It's www.hoopworks.com.
Hoopworks.com.
Yep. So you get private sessions. You can get there and then shoot on your own. You can do whatever you want to do, just around basketball.
If you want to be a great point guard and shoot really well,
come and see me.
Yes. Batty will go to the free throw line. A little discussion between the referees right now. Men's game coming up at 4, or they're 30 minutes after this game, whichever comes latest.
Yeah, we just need to stay on top of it. We can't get discouraged right now. They're gonna play their best game. They're gonna make shots that probably maybe they normally don't make, and it's okay. We gotta stay on top of. We're one of the top, if not the top number 1 team in the country in less fouls given.
Yeah,
so we gotta
1.
stay out of fouls, play good defense, play solid defense, and make them suffer just like we always do.
Batty hits them both, and we're tied 37. Nelson with the zone. Sullivan up top. Wright Ponder finds Dory off her hands, tips it away, goes out of bounds, though a turnover Tampa.
Yeah, we can see that PBA is switching defenses continuously, which that makes the game harder for the point guards to read, and also for us to shift from man-to-man to zone defense. So
shot clock didn't start, so we'll stop again.
They're trying to stop our 2 bigs right now. That's what they just did. We just need to stay, focused and not get rushed, and just try to look for, when you're playing against a 2-3, the middle is where you have to go to. So
kind of takes away the drive from Abney and Sullivan, too.
It does.
I mean, they live with that on a man-to-man.
It takes the drive. They're playing like a sagging defense, but they're going up to Julian Ingram because he's the shooter. But mostly what they're trying to stop is us, like from running and getting transition points, and also our inside game right now with Shea and Dory.
Rogers finds Bennett. Bennett in the lane, backs out. Finds Batty. She calls out a play. 15 on the shot clock. Plenty of time. Rogers. Now under 10. She's going to drive on Sullivan. Kicks it back out. Rogers with 3 on the clock. Puts it up. No good. Batty rebounds. Tries to spin it up, but got fouled.
And this is a huge point right now. As a player, when you are in this kind of type of game, you have to stay composed. You can't react. You need to talk to your teammates, gather them, and through good defenses, you need to get back in the game. So that's when now they need to get together and stay calm. There's still a lot of game,
Batty hitting the free throw. She's hit her last 3, up to 7 points now. Misses that one. Sullivan hustling to the other end. Surveys the floor, pulls it back, and hands to Nelson. Spartans trail by a point. They trailed by 2 at half. Nelson, as they're back in a man-to-man, inside, right
Great
Ponder.
pass.
Nice.
Great pass.
Spartans took advantage of the man-to-man, and Sullivan with a drive and then dished. Swing it to Rogers. Finds Bennett. Williams on the drive, fouled by Nelson. Chris can't believe it.
Yeah, you can see that Chris is being challenged today. She needs to stay composed. It's totally okay. As a player, when you're in that situation right now where there's a lot of players going at you, you just got to stay up there and keep your composure. You're the point guard, She's been doing great. She needs to have confidence in herself. She's a great basketball player, so she just needs to stay in the game.
Williams missing the free throw. Spartans still up by 1. Chris Nelson lobbying hard, not being mean or anything, just talking to the ref about what can I do.
And that's okay. As a player, when you don't understand, that's the best thing that you can do. Talk to the referee, ask him, what can I do better? That's great. That's a great learning point. And also the referee will see that you're interested in their opinion and you trust what they called. So that's good.
Nelson finds Ingram. She goes inside to right Ponder, kicks it out to Nelson, swings it to Sullivan, drives, runs out of room. Might have traveled. She did.
And that's what this kind of defense stops. We just saw that Coach Jessie called 60, which is our dribble drive offense, and how that didn't stop us from scoring. Now they came back to 2-3 to stop that exact same drive.
So you need to be aware each time down the floor and adjust, right?
Correct.
Okay. Williams looking to go inside to Ross. Rogers for 3. Knocks down a big one.
And again, we can see again they're, competing against us. They want to beat Tampa because Tampa is the number 1 team right now. So there's going to be tough shots that are made like that. So we just got to stay composed and keep playing our game that, we've been doing up to this point.
Dory now at shooter's touch, rolls it in. 42-41. Dory up to 15. Carpenter back in the lineup, and she knocks down a deep 3.
Fun fact, a couple years ago we were looking to this kid to bring her into Tampa. It's a fun fact. She's a good shooter. Very good shooter.
Nelson for 3 off the side of the rim. Palm Beach Atlantic now up 4 on Tampa. Minute and a half left to go, third quarter. Batty head down, drives, fouled by Sullivan on the drive. But I tell you, Batty's got that figured out, how to make that drive and get the foul.
She's been playing great. She is tough, and she is, her physicality is good. She's able to keep up with Meliha, which is, physically she's, great. So we just need to keep up with her. She's the one that's carrying the team on her back now.
Batty back to the free throw line. She's hit 4 of 5, all in this half. Not that one, though. Wright Ponder with the rebound. Rebound number 6. Nudge leading the Spartans with 7. 1:20 to go. A 5-point difference now.
And they're back to man right now again. Shifting defenses to make it hard for us to read.
Wright Ponder.
And to make rash decisions. Yep.
Williams cut off by Abney. Minute to go in the quarter. 20 on the shot clock. Batty running the point. Rogers hit 1-3 from there. Doesn't hit this one. Spartans get it back. Abney across the timeline. Hands to Dory. That one gets away. Nelson quickly to the ball. 14 still on the shot clock. Plenty of time. Ingram going to drive the lane. Puts it up off the glass and in. Good drive. Julia Ingram.
And Julia Ingram, you can see she has improved her game extremely. She's a hard-working player. She is one of a kind. This girl is very intelligent. She's, one of the most hard-working people I've ever met. And I was, happy that she made the decision to come to Tampa because she is a dime.
Batty had it deflected, taken away. This is going to be the quarter. Abney at the buzzer, no good. We've played 3, and it's 46-43. Palm Beach Atlanta extends the lead by 1 point this quarter. So we've got 10 minutes to go in a nail-biter here in Tampa. Quick look at the scoring is Dory Nudge now with 17 points. Wright Ponder with 8. And Sullivan with 7 on the other side. Ross 10 has not scored. It looks like Tampa maybe made an adjustment on Ross because she didn't get the ball much and didn't score at all.
She didn't. The way that you stop somebody from getting the ball inside is to put pressure on the ball. So you could see that Tampa was that was probably what coach was telling them. You saw that our guards were very active on the ball. And then also, Shea was doing a great job putting her body on her, side repping her, not going too high up so they could love it, but, staying on top of that lane so she could not get the ball. So that was good. Mm-hmm.
So deny an easy entry pass and takes it away.
The key to not get the ball inside is a good pressure on the ball. Mm-hmm. So if your guards are pressured, on the ball, they can make that good pass inside. So, that's what they're trying to do, and that's what Coach Jessie always says in practices, and even when I played for him, and even Coach Kate as well, is a good ball pressure will stop for your player to get the ball inside. So
when you were a grad assistant coach here for a couple years, did you learn a lot of things that you didn't learn as a player just because you were around the coaches all the time?
Oh yeah. When you love basketball and you see it from another perspective, it opens up, much more things that you didn't know that they were there, or things that you didn't know that they worked on, or things that they talked about. So clearly it helped a lot to understand the game much better.
Make you appreciate coaching that much more, huh?
Yes, 100%. You don't really understand what goes behind the scenes until you live through it,
Inside Wright Ponder, a great pass, and it's a 46-45 game.
That's a great pass. That's great vision by Chris. She's improved tremendously from this last year to this year. It always takes a while for players when they come in, and I can talk even about myself. It takes a while when you're transferred to adjust to a new system, but she's done a great job.
Rogers, front of the rim, Wright Ponder. Taken over on the boards for the Spartans here. Little under 9 to go. Tampa trailing by a point.
So they are coming back. You could see the other coach signaling that they were back on man-to-man.
And they immediately went into Dory, drove the lane, got fouled from behind. She'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, and Dory is just an all-around player. You can see her playing from the outside, playing from the inside. We just need to understand that she's going to drag a lot of attention sometimes, and she's able also to, pass the ball to her teammates, and she's doing a great job today.
That one lips out. Still a 1-point difference.
And Rose is back
We're
in.
tied. Yep.
Rose is back in.
Ross with 3 fouls, so they figure here's their chance. Runner to the end. Self with the ball. She knocked down a big 3 almost immediately off the bench when she came in. Cumbie on the drive. Spins in the lane. Can't get it. And Wright Ponder pulls it down.
And that was great. Great decision by Dory to not bail her out with a foul. She was out of control. Even though she was a little farther from her that she would have thought, she just didn't foul her and just let it go.
Nelson for the lead. 48-46 Tampa. Nelson pulling up on a free throw line jumper. She has 5 now for Tampa. 8 minutes to go. And timeout is called. And the Spartans holding on to the lead with 8 minutes to go in the game. 48-46.
And you can see the confidence from Chris, being able to be her coach on this back last year. She's sifted her confidence. She's been working on her shot much more. When we were recruiting her, we knew what she was capable of. So it took her a little bit to understand the game and how our program works. But you can see right now she's carrying the team. She's cooling them down. She's bringing them up high when they need to, and she's making big shots just like that one. So that's great.
So you were involved in the recruiting for a couple of years. How do you find players who want to come from D1 to D2 or junior college transfers? Is there like a database you look at, or do you recommendations from coaches?
Yeah, so we have a database, and there's actually a list of players that want to transfer, and we get them, every day. So we probably looked at more than 350 players.
Wow.
And then you just look at their game and their video film, and then you kind of see what the players are from that, but also you gotta look at their stats and see if it aligns with what you're seeing, because sometimes, and I can even talk about myself, stats don't align with the type of player you are, depending upon the program that you're in or the situation that you're in, So yeah, we have a huge database, and we use Synergy to look them up, and then we also get emails from hundreds and hundreds of kids. So
and they're all the greatest, right? If you read the email.
Yeah.
I would imagine game film, though, pretty much helps you tell the big story.
Yep. Yeah, that's why we always ask for full game films when you're a coach, because if they only send you the highlights, you can't really tell everything that a player can do from that.
Self knocks down a 3.
Because when you're recruiting, and up to your point, you're looking for more than just the player. You're looking at the attitude. Are they, players who can be challenged? And you can see that from film. You can see that. If a player is complaining all the time, or you want to look for good attitudes too, not only a good basketball player.
Abney on the drive. Kicks it out to Nelson. Shot clock running down. Ingram won't fall. Right Ponder with the rebound. Up and in. Spartans back up by 1. This is going to be a fight to the finish, folks.
It will be. It will be.
7 minutes to go. Unbeaten in the conference, Tampa Spartans. 1-12, Palm Beach Atlantic. Cumbie drives, fouled by Nudge. That's been almost an automatic foul this whole game when they drive the lane right side.
I thought she was in a good position, to be honest with you. I thought she didn't bring her hands down, because usually sometimes referees, and this is a rule, if you bring your hands down, if you get contact on your core and if you bring your hands down, they automatically will call a foul. But in this case, I thought that she, stayed up. But, it's the ref decision. You can take that back. So
Cumbie misses the first. Still 50-49 Tampa. .50-50. Believe it or not, biggest lead of the game for Tampa was 10-4 way early in this game.
And we can see the dribble drive offense again against their man, because we clearly are better drivers against them.
Nudge dishes out, right Ponder. Little 15-foot jumper knocks it home.
And she can shoot that too. That's the good thing about our bigs. is that they can shoot from the outside, and then they can actually, make some moves inside. So that's a great shot.
Cumbie, top of the key. Kicks it over to Williams. Goes inside to Ross. Back out to Cumbie. Driving on, and a travel before she bowls down Dory Nudge.
She did. She hopped. So.
Yep. I've always told Scott that running start is great if they don't see it. But Scott and I have noticed they see it.
Yes. And then we have Connor
Moore, manager, and also one of my play-by-play partners for baseball.
Great person. He's a great person and a hard worker as well. So we're very lucky to have him.
That was other duties as assigned, though. Racing off the bench to mop up the floor.
Yep.
Spartans by 2, 6 minutes to go. Nelson with the ball. Back to his zone. No, it's man. It's still man. Yeah, it's man.
They're in a sagging man because they're trying to get that ball out of the paint. So
tipped away from Abney. Carpenter and Batty. A couple pretty good point guards on the floor at the same time. They start together, but had been not on the floor together. Williams with the drive. No good. Julia Ingram pulls it away.
And you see Chris made a great decision there. She came to her. She stayed with her hands up. Don't bail her out. Just live with the consequences. You can't foul. You're the point guard of the team. You got to stay composed. So that was a great decision on her.
Abney, free throw line. Bad pass taken away by Carpenter. 1-on-none, lays it up and in. We're tied. 5 minutes to go, 52-52. Meliha Sullivan at the scorer's table, getting ready to come in. Nelson to Nudge. Ingram. Abney drives the lane, tries to find right. Ponder taken away. Back-to-back turnovers for Tampa. Pass inside to Cumbie, back out to Batty. Carpenter with a ball fake, drives up, won't fall.
And that's good decision because we made her put the ball on the floor. We don't want her to shoot the ball, so that was great. That was, even though it was an open lane, that's not her forte. So
Nelson to Nudge. Nudge with a little room, a jump shot. She goes down, hits the shot, and will go to the line.
And that's her sweet spot right there. Dory's pull-up is one of the best in the game that I've seen. She needs to do that, and she needs to get to the foul line, too.
The only thing you worry about is when she went down there, she's had a knee problem the last couple games, and you just weren't sure. I watched her get up. She seemed to be okay.
She was okay. She's totally okay.
Just playing through it.
Just playing through it. When you're a competitor, you play through it.
Yep.
And she's a competitor, so she's going to be okay.
She has 20 points. 7 of 12 shooting, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, and she hit a 3.
And she shoots at a very high percentage. She doesn't usually take shots that are not in the flow of the offense, so that's what also makes her valuable, you know. When we talk about shots in the flow of the offense, meaning that we want to let the offense come to us. We don't force it, so she's doing a great job of doing that today.
So Spartans by 2, 4:13 left in, do I say regulation or do I just say in the game? It's a little bit in the balance still. Spartans will send out Ingram, who has not missed a minute of this game. Ingram has not come out. Nelson has not come out. They both have 36 minutes to their credit. Dory with 34. Wright Ponder with 30. Dory Nudge with the free throws. Free throw's good. She completes the three-point play.
These 4 minutes are going to be huge for us. They're usually the fourth quarter. When we get into the 4-minute mark, I would say almost 3-minute mark, that's huge for us.
Wright Ponder tried to block the shot by Williams and fouled her.
And that will be Wright Ponder's just her first.
And that's what they will try to do, is to get to the free throw line, because it's really hard to score on us. We play such a good defense. We see that it's a very low scoring game. So that's what they're trying to do. We gotta be smarter than that and not foul them, not bail them out. She was out of control already.
Looked like Wright Ponder had made up her mind she was going to try to swat that into the first row. Body bumping against her though. Williams hits them both. 1 point game. Aaliyah Abney coming in for Wright Ponder. So the Spartans have Nudge, Nelson, Ingram, Abney, and Sullivan, with Sullivan initially going down to the post, now heads to a wing. Abney has another turnover. Got to protect that pass a little more. Pass deflected. Rogers gets it, misses the shot, gets the rebound, up again, no good, and Sullivan comes out of the pack. And she gets fouled from behind. I think Cumby's going to get the foul. Only the fourth foul. Only the third foul in the quarter. So no concerns about going to the line yet. Wright Ponder back in for Abney. Sullivan inbounds. 3.5 minutes to go. Tampa by 1.
And they're back in the 2-3 again. Chris Ross is in the game as well.
Nudge looks at a free throw line jumper to Ingram. There we go.
That's just great offense. You put the ball in the middle of the paint. They dig to you because you're the best player in the team. You see the right player on the corner, which is our shooter, and Ingram makes the three. That's just great basketball. That's
her first three of the day, but that one, she had a lot of time to hone in the sights.
You know what's interesting? When we talk about Julia Ingram and her value, she will always make that shot, regardless if she hasn't made their shots throughout the game or she hasn't had any chances. She's always ready, and that's the value of a player and a shooter.
And I like her because she's from Palm Harbor University High School, where my daughter goes.
That's a plus.
Spartans by 4. The foul was on Wright Ponder. Out to Carpenter. Guarded by Ingram. Under 3 now left in the game. Carpenter pounds the dribble. Tries to drive the lane. Puts it up. Wright Ponder. Made it a little difficult to go up. Had her change the shot. And the Spartans will get the ball.
That's just great defense. That's just very good defense on Shea. She stayed with her hands up. She didn't bail her out. That's just great defense.
Spartans by 4 with 2.5. This is a big lead for Tampa in this game. Back in the zone, back to Ingram. Finds a little assist, a nudge. The shot just a little short. Batty comes out of the pack. Calls the play. Hands to Williams.
They've been doing the same play for the past 10 minutes or so because it's been working for them.
Little give and go. They tried to find Batty. It went off of Tampa.
They do a little UCLA cut there to kind of make this defense shift, and then they try to drive from the top of the key. So that's what the PBA is trying to do. They've been calling that one play for...
As long as it works, huh?
As long as it works.
Yeah. Manisha Ritas, calls the timeout as her team will have the ball. 2 minutes to go, 13 seconds on the shot clock. Men's game coming up at 4. Scott Lynn will have the call. He's doing vocal lessons right now. He's got a little routine he goes through before the game to get his voice in shape.
And I bet right now the coaches are telling the players to just, control the tempo of the game. That's what Chris needs to do right now.
So Batty will inbound. Palm Beach Atlantic under their own basket, quickly into Williams. Nelson guarding her. She tries to drive, loses it out of bounds. Nelson held her ground, and the Spartans get the ball.
Under 2 minutes, Nelson will bring it up.
And she's calling man-to-man defense again.
Off a double screen. Nudge with the ball fake. Drives, kicks it out. Sullivan, nowhere to go. Lost the ball. Don't want to foul that far away, but nothing called, so we play on. Batty gets a call from Coach Reedus. Williams to the corner to Cumbie. Off a pick, Carpenter. Williams, deep three, and it's a 1-point game.
They're trying to get their shooters coming out of double screens down, so.
Williams knocks it down. She has 13. Takes over the scoring lead. 58-57. Tampa by 1. 1 minute to go in regulation. Nudge, top of the key. And a foul called. Let's see what we're waiting on here. Foul is on Cumbie, I believe, yes. She fouls out with that one. And it'll put Dory Nudge at the free throw line, a 75% shooter. A 1-point lead, 55 seconds to go.
And that's a great position for us. I mean, you get your best player to shoot a couple free throws. Dory, as we all know, she's been very clutch at the end. She doesn't melt with pressure. She is a great player, so I'm sure she's going to, make both these free throws, and we're going to play good defense now.
First free throw, front of the rim, won't go. Stays a 1-point game. Gets that one to go in. 22 for Dory, 2-point lead for Tampa. Batty quickly down court. Running a little weave outside the arc. Williams looks, drives, keeps going on Nelson. Nelson gets called for the foul. That'll put Williams on the line. 2 free throws, a chance to tie.
And again, this is just for every player, not in just college, everywhere. You don't want to give the ref any doubts on these scenarios because it's a close game. It's only 43 seconds on the clock. This is just a lesson for everybody, and I did that when I played sometimes. Keep your hands up, regardless.
Nelson now has 4 fouls, picking them all up in the second half. Williams misses that one, pinballs around into the hands of Ross, and she gets a timeout called. PBA will have the ball with 40 seconds to go. Trailing by 1. That one just kind of took a couple awkward bounces, ended up in Ross's arms, and she got the timeout.
I'm not sure if that would have been a trouble because she fell with the ball, but, it's their call. We just got to play good defense now and stay composed.
Well, she didn't try to get up. That's normally one of their considerations, but...
Yeah, but when she grabbed the ball, she was up,
yeah.
And then she fell. So, you know what I mean? So I'm not sure. Our coaches were asking for a trouble. But like I said, it doesn't matter what the referees call. You got to stay in the game, stay focused.
So there'll be 40 seconds to go. Palm Beach Atlantic trailing by 1. They will have to shoot before the game clock expires. They've hit well from the outside in this half. They are 4 of 8 on 3-pointers this half.
If I had to guess, they will try to get to Chris again. Since she has 4 fouls. If I had to guess, they would do kind of like similar play as this one, kind of like speed it up. As you could see that they picked up the pace.
Do you take the best shot you can get, whether it's a 3 or a 2, or do you just try to get a basket?
Well, it depends on your coaching style. Personally, I will get whatever I have. Like, I would try to get a layup first.
Batty to Williams.
But at the end of the shot clock, you need to get a shot, So
yep.
I would try to get as closest to the basket if possible. But you got to take what is given, too.
Carpenter's going to drive, puts it off the glass, won't go. Right Ponder with the rebound, and she gets fouled by Batty. And it should, with the 6th-team foul, will send Right Ponder to the free throw line. She's a 70% free throw shooter. Tampa leads by 1. First free throw, nothing but net. 60-58. 25 and a half seconds to play. Right Ponder hits them both. They need a 3 to tie. That makes you be able to breathe a little bit, knowing a 3 won't beat you. They can run it down to the last second. They won't. They want to put it up and have a chance to get a rebound if it doesn't fall. But they can run it down. I imagine at this point, if you got the shot, take it.
I'm sure they'll do some kind of stagger away for their shooters. They were doing kind of like that one play that they were doing where they were doing the weave at the top where they hand the ball over and then one of the players cut and then they had a double stagger away for their shooter, which is number 11, which is Carpenter, the girl that I told you that she's a great shooter. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of double screen down or stagger for the shooter, and if not, they'll probably play ball screen to try to get the 3.
And don't foul the three-point shooter.
Do not foul, please. Live with the consequences at this point.
All right, 25 and a half seconds to go.
Thanks for the reminder.
I don't know if you were here then.
I'm not sure. I might have been.
It was mind-boggling. Williams to inbound. Finds Batty. Hands off to Carpenter. The weave in motion.
You see?
Williams.
Get the double stagger away for the
Carpenter's trying
shooter.
to come off the pick. Ingram fights through. Backs it out. 14 seconds. 3 on the way. Nothing but error and taken away by Abney. Quickly up court to Sullivan. She drives, lays it up, and fouled. And she goes crashing into the standard and is slow to get up. And she's down. I think she hit her head hard.
She did.
And she's not getting up.
And she's tough, so she's not the type of player that will complain. She's not the type of player. They need to review that call because that's just not okay.
So Sullivan is down, made the layup to give the Spartans a 5-point lead with 4 seconds to go, but she hit the standard hard coming off the layup. Sullivan still down. Now they've got her sitting up.
And she's tough, you know. So I'm sure if she can, she's going to stand up and just, get her free throws.
Yep.
But that was just ugly because she's in the air. You're not seeing what's going on. She's looking at the basket.
She's up and walking. Nice applause from everybody. Looks a little woozy. I think they're going to take her out. Spartans can have somebody shoot the free throw for her. I believe the rule is it's somebody who's in the game, but I think the other team designates who shoots.
I just hope she's okay.
Yeah.
She's a big piece for the team, and she's been doing just such a great job. But we got a good free throw shooter. I mean, Shea is just, you see good free throw shooters when pressure is in the game, and she's definitely up to this. So,
did they call this an intentional foul? She's shooting 2.
It should be an intentional foul because she was the last player that was involved. She was player that was involved in the play, in the layup, so that should be an intentional.
4 seconds to go. Spartans will get the ball off the intentional foul as well. Inbounding it is Nelson. Tosses it out to Dory. She's just going to hold it, and PBA is going to let them run out the clock. The Spartans hold on for a huge win, 64-58 over the Palm Beach Atlantic Sailfish, and the Spartans run their record to 15-0 on the season, on the conference season, and 18-3 overall on the year. Elena, a gritty performance by the Spartans down the stretch.
Yes, I mean, like I said before, these games are going to be like that from now on. All the teams that are playing against us, they're going to bring their A game. We just got to stay composed, stay true to us, and then just, there's no such thing as an ugly win. It's a win, you know?
So Scott Lynn going to track down Dory. You'll have to give up your headphones for a second.
For sure.
Okay.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we'll have you back for more. We appreciate
hopefully.
it. Elena D'Alfredo. Dory, thanks for joining us. I know we hope Meliha is okay after getting hit hard there.
We hope. I don't even know. I thought it was her head, but it might be her back. I don't know what it is.
Okay, it took her a while. What a gritty performance by your team today. A team, Palm Beach Atlantic, that wanted the upset in the worst way, but nice job by you guys.
Thank you. We didn't really execute what Coach wanted, but it's a win. A win is a win, so that's what matters.
You end up with 22 points. Carried the team at times, 7 of 13. You had a really nice jump shot. You kind of give him the fake at the top of the key, and you kind of own that 10 to 15-foot jump shot. They were giving it to you, it seemed like.
Yeah. I mean, thank you. What can I say on that?
You got to feel, even a team like Palm Beach Atlantic, that target on your back, and every team's going to give you the best shot, right?
Yes, I hope so.
You guys will take it. Dory, I know you're concerned about Meliha. We're going to let you get into the locker room. Congratulations on a great win. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
64-58. The Spartans hold on for a big win over Palm Beach Atlantic. And we've got a men's game coming up shortly after this. So for Elena D'Alfredo, Scott Lynn, this is Jack Ike saying thanks for joining us. Spartans win at 64-58. Staying unblemished in the conference at 15-0 and run their winning streak to 16-0. Men's game coming up right here on TampaSpartans.tv.